Welcome, everybody, to the Behind the Pillar podcast, brought to you by me, Irishneep, and that man over there, Super, a.k.a. Silas, the first ever Discord champion, just throwing that out there, where we're going to be talking everything APW and pro wrestling. We're going to be breaking down our roster, our shows, mayhem, and havoc, and basically everything else in the world of wrestling, so join us.
Yeah!
So wait, is SmackDown going on right now for you? Or is it over now?
It's going on right now, actually, yeah.
You didn't miss, you're not missing too much. Did you catch any of the beginning?
I did, well, so I fast-forwarded through the beginning because since I get it like 3 hours later than everybody else, I already knew that AJ Styles won the competition, won the tournament. So I fast-forwarded through that match, but then I was only like 20 minutes. So it starts at 8 for me, and I started at 8:20. So I was only, and that match was like fucking 30 minutes long. And I was like, it's like, why are they milking this shit? What's like, just like, come on. But
who do you think's winning the whole thing then? Seth or AJ?
Knowing what I know, and this is just, I'll throw your 2 cents in here. Knowing what I know, I think it's going to be AJ.
You think? My only thing is he just returned to SmackDown and made it a point that he's back to the house that AJ Styles built, and that's a Raw title. So is AJ going to win it and then immediately jump to Raw after he just cut a promo saying, like, I'm back on the brand that I built?
So, yeah, but that's the thing is, like, the house that AJ Styles built was a thing in Impact, too. You know what I mean?
Right, sure.
So, really, he can say that fucking anywhere. But the reason, so, okay, I'm going to give my reasoning for why I think it's AJ, and it's the same reasoning for why I think Edge should have won as well. And then I'll give you the reasoning that I think Seth should win it that is way less likely. And just so you know, going forward, and anybody watching this currently, I've been told that my opinions about wrestling are jaded, and they are. And so there'll be times when I go fucking unhinged, and that's just how it is. So
nothing wrong with it.
So AJ Styles. And I could make the same argument for Edge, right? The reason I think that AJ Styles is going to take it is because he said last year that he was going to be done soon, and I think that it's important to give AJ like one last little push before he does go.
Sure.
Because it's AJ Styles. This dude, what can't you say AJ Styles has done? He literally wrestled in Japan. He joined forces with like people that were in the indies that are big today. Like he was a heat-seeking missile for talent going big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he came to WWE after I watched him for so many years on Impact, and I loved him. Back then, I think what was his name back then? I keep forgetting.
It's always been AJ Styles.
Not his name, but like his. You know how like right now he's the phenomenal one. When he first started his dicking around with Dixie Carter, he was going by. So was it like No, it wasn't the Blueprint. That was somebody else. That was Matt something.
It wasn't when it was just himself and he was like the lone. Not the lone wolf is Baron Corbin, but it was like the man. I know exactly the persona you're trying to explain.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, all that aside, I feel like AJ Styles was really a guy that like laid the groundwork for a lot of good talent for a long time and never got recognition for it until he made it big in the WWE. And I feel like they're not going to let him leave without showing them like, hey, this is our AJ Styles. You know what I mean? And again, same exact argument for Edge. if anyone keeps up with wrestling news, I think everyone is aware that come August, Edge will be done. And if that spoiled anything for anybody, I apologize. But, just read Twitter, for God's sake. So, same argument for Edge. I don't know what they're doing with Edge, but they need to do something other than having him and Bad Bunny beat Damian Priest for the 90th time.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on. Edge deserves more than that, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I think AJ Styles is going to win, and that's why I originally thought Edge was going to win also. Now, Seth Rollins, I could see some kind of, like the old school Backlash pay-per-views, or not Backlash, sorry, bragging rights pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I could see them putting the belt on him, because now that we're splitting brands, we're opening that avenue up again for bragging rights.
Right.
Or a similar pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What was that one they had that was it Survivor Series? No. Was it Survivor Series?
Typically, until recently, Survivor Series was like the champions from each show against each other. So like the 2 world champs against each other, the 2 pairs of tag team champions against each other, the U.S. title versus the Intercontinental champion, regardless of brand.
What am I thinking of? Where they have like a bunch of teams, and it's like fucking 7 people from Raw and 7 people from SmackDown.
Oh, that's Survivor Series. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're opening up doors for pay-per-views like that, obviously, right? If they go that route, Seth is a good person to put the title on, because you inevitably have champion leading his team of Raw, champion leading his team of SmackDown into Survivor Series. Seth versus Roman, possibly a feud there. Probably not, but hey, who knows? And Seth versus Roman is kind of like everybody's end-all, be-all right now. That's what people really want to see if WWE actually listened to people.
And Roman's never beaten Seth, so that's already the story right there.
Yeah, it's a big thing that everyone's got their eye on.
I don't know. It's just like, if AJ wins, he moves to Raw, because they've already said that's the title for Raw. So AJ moves to Raw. Is Seth just going to be a title chaser for like another year again? Like, unless AJ is just like a first transitional champion and he doesn't have that long of a reign, I can't imagine Seth Rollins continues to chase for like another 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
He's at that peak. He's at that peak right now.
Controversial opinion, though. Okay.
Well, he doesn't need the title.
Well, not only does he not need the title, but because Seth is ridiculously over. Seth is so over that he can wear giant red Curious George boots into the ring and everyone still cheers for him. Like, he can wear gold dust level ridiculous attire and people still want to see him. Okay?
Indeed.
And there's only one other person to really do that, and that's Gold Dust. Not only does he not need a title, and you're going to hate me for saying this.
Go for it.
I would really, really just love to see Gunther catch a mean stomp. Okay?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Seth is amazing, but he's so good that it's to the point to where they almost need to put a mid-card title on him in order to elevate that.
In your kind of drawn-out fantasy book, it's like AJ wins the whole thing, moves to Raw to get that one final, hey, this is AJ Styles. WWE, this is AJ Styles. Seth, taking the loss, moves on to Gunther and defeats Gunther for the title. So my next question is, we've seen what they want from Gunther. Clearly, this guy is being booked to like another level right now. So if Gunther loses, he's got to be next in line for a world title shot, right? Look at the reign this man's had with this title. This title was literally not even on TV before Gunther got it. Okay. And now it's like he's putting on bangers with Sheamus and Drew and,
is he,
and all this.
So this is one of my very, very many jaded opinions.
You don't like Gunther?
No, it's not that I don't like Gunther. I think Gunther's story, when you look back and you see, like, number one, his weight loss, right?
Oh, yeah.
What? Dude is crazy. Like, that's insane how much weight he lost. And it shows his dedication. He got in shape. He got, in the right position to move forward in the company. That's great because, out of shape guys end up, starting a gimmick and then 6 months later they scrap it and then he's off TV for 6 months and then we're like, where is he? So
and then he's got white hair.
So I feel like not for Gunther's talent level, but for the audience, they pushed Gunther way too hard, way too fast. Like we've never even gotten to see, at least not in the main roster. We haven't even gotten to see how Gunther does without Imperium.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of fall into the same boat though as the typical heel that needs his boys? Because that's kind of Gunther's appeal. He's like the original wrestler guy. He doesn't play with like the sports entertainment. He's here to protect the sport of wrestling, and he's like the typical original.
Because he doesn't necessarily have like a gimmick, right? I mean,
he's kind of like a Bond villain, kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of his character. He's kind of like a Bond villain, but
and I get that. But the problem is, piggybacking off of that, this was my problem with when they did this whole Drew McIntyre Sheamus feud with Gunther. Number one,
the triple threat
made no sense to me.
Made no sense to add Drew.
Now it didn't. It made zero sense to add Drew. Now, but not only that, but if you have a James Bond level villain, you need a James Bond level face, right?
Right.
And Sheamus just isn't a James Bond level face. And so that's what I'm saying, and to me, not even a face, but a James Bond level person would be Seth Rollins.
Sure.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you take out, and I know this is taking out a huge part of it, but if you take titles out, if you take belts out of the equation, either Seth or Cody are the two most over people in the company currently.
Right. Sure.
And so I don't know. I feel like they need to figure out what they're doing with Gunther. They either need to have him face someone huge and make it count, or they need to dial him back a little bit and maybe put him with Imperium, but show us what he can do without Imperium as well. And yes, it's like Roman, right? He's got his minions, he's got his guys.
Yeah.
But I feel like Roman or Joe, as I like to call him, at the very least, I love piling on the disrespect to him, but at least he had a lot of years. If you take out his Shield years, he had a lot of time to show everybody like who he was and what he could do by himself.
Sure.
Gunther, I've never seen that.
Yeah, you didn't watch like NXT UK or anything overseas. I mean, that's where that's Walter. That's when he was Walter. That's when he was prime. Even though he was over, he wasn't in the best shape of his life. That's when he was like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not. I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't know people before WWE, because there's like a billion wrestlers. It's impossible to know everybody. You're never going to be able to find everybody early on before they make it. I totally get that. But like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something different when you've been watching him for so long. And I don't know. I just feel like he could be that next, like, because he plays the villain role so well. One, never turn him face ever, because I don't really understand. I wouldn't get the appeal of Gunther as a face. I just wouldn't see it at all.
He doesn't need to be a face. That would be a terrible, terrible thing for him.
Yeah. I just feel like he could be one of their top guys as far as heel. Like if you take like top 4 and you're going 2 face and 2 heel, I feel like he could be in that conversation. But I don't know. I just don't know how they're going to book it. Because I always thought that they'd use his loss as a big moment for somebody. Does Seth need that moment? I mean, does he? Does Seth need that moment of taking down Gunther for the title?
So, no, he doesn't. But
right.
you know who does need it, and this is going to sound completely backwards, is Gunther.
Well, yeah.
And that's again, it's one of those things to where like I think of things. Sorry, just getting prepared for the Queen. I I I have almost like this jaded, and it is jaded. And I said that it's a different way of viewing things than most people would normally see them. Like
Sure.
I yeah, no, Seth doesn't need that title. He doesn't need that match. He doesn't. I'm sorry, but I don't care how much you like him. Seth doesn't need to beat Gunther to prove anything to anyone. If anything,
Right.
it's the other way around, and that's exactly what it is. It's picture like prototype Cena. Okay,
Mm.
fucking all right, not good,
Yeah.
but he needed that win over like Kurt Angle.
Right.
He needed that win, and it was like even though he had the U.S. championship, he still needed that win over Randy Orton to excel over those next 13 years.
So who? So if like Gunther beats Seth, would that be that win for you, or who would Gunther have to beat for it to be like established?
I don't think it can be done by any one person. I think
Okay.
the only one person that can really establish you is like if you were to beat someone like The Undertaker, right?
Right. Right. Which yeah.
I mean, as established as Brock Lesnar was, it really cemented him in the record books when he ended the streak.
Sure.
I think Gunther needs to have, like I said, if they're going to push him, they need to really put a hand on that ass and give him an assist
Yeah.
because he needs to start facing people like Seth, like Edge, like, well, I won't say Edge because I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me, but I really feel like Edge is going to snap in half every time he gets in the ring. He
Did
looked,
you watch the triple threat from tonight?
I did.
That double spear, it looked like he landed right on his neck.
Dude, well, not only that, but we're having more and more spots where it's like I can see what he was trying to go for, and it didn't fucking work out. Like
Well, I was
that spear with Ray.
yeah.
Like even Michael Cole was like, "What? It happened? What was?" And
Yeah.
when you got the announcers fumbling, bruh, you need to.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, I was doing a watch along, and throughout the entire match, I was like, the timing on these moves are completely off. Like the timing was so off, and I don't know who if it was just I don't know. It didn't look good. I know that.
It seemed very like they were like, "Hey guys, we're just gonna go out there and have some fun today." Like,
Yeah. Plan what plan? We ain't got shit.
So-
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying about Gunther and all that, though. I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
and it's tough because I feel like he's having a similar go to what Sheamus did. At least for me, because I was not. Whenever Sheamus was feuding with John Cena, that whole "you're a jar of mayonnaise with a ketchup lid" or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
he said. It's funny, but
Yeah.
he didn't. To me, he didn't have like that John Cena level yet. He wasn't
Right,
there.
Right.
And it's rough because Gunther is someone that I really, really want to like really, really bad. But it feels like they did way too much, way too fast. And he's good. I can't deny that he's talented.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can. Not only that, but he's very obviously, if you look at Walter versus Gunther, he's
Oh, yeah.
put in the work to be where he is.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like kayfabe wise, like just strictly that he needs that build instead of just going, "Oh, well, I'm here and I'm the champion."
Right. So you think it's just strictly a booking thing?
Yeah, that's all it is. But
Yeah,
we
I
all
gotcha.
know that WWE is fucking garbage at booking, so I can't blame Gunther for that at all.
That's why it was such a shock when the Bloodline stuff picked up, and then people started freaking out about it.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why. And I mean, I guess the Cody stuff, but hell, even the Cody, it's like he shows up, he takes all these months off, comes back, and then he wants this story. That was different, but yeah, they knock it out of the park every now and then, but it's not likely.
I think I think the times when they knock it out of the park is just like, it's those times when you're not expecting what they're gonna do. And
It's the times when they fall into something too, like Kofi Mania or like the Yes movement with Daniel Bryan. Like,
right, yeah,
no one thought that shit was gonna like take over arenas.
right. No one. It was just a stupid thing, and it's historical. It's cyclical, right? You have these people who come in and just the small shit that we were actually talking about this a while back. I don't know if you remember, but the small shit that they do leaves an impact on the community, and it was completely unintentional. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, what? No, it's a word. It's a word. And it's crazy. All over T-shirts, hats. It's still a chant today.
Yeah.
Right? Excluding that one WrestleMania match with KO. Stone Cold hasn't been in action in how many years? Like since 2004?
So, 2003, 2004, something like that.
Something like that. Somebody's going to correct me on that, but that's okay. But it's still around. And we're talking about like literally almost 20 years after him being an active talent.
Yeah.
And it's what we were talking about. I brought it up was like Edge's thing, right? When he gets this look on his face, it's almost like a crazy underbite, and he slicks his hair back.
Right.
Dude, he can do that today, and I get goosebumps because it reminds me of my childhood. It's like a signature Edge thing.
Yeah.
That it's not scripted. They didn't mean to do it, but it resonates. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's those little things, dude. It's those little things.
Right. But so backtracking then, who between Seth and AJ, who do you think is going to take that?
So part of me, here's the thing. Part of me this whole time has been like, oh, it's Seth. Everyone's been saying it's Seth. And then I'm like, wait a minute. We're watching World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE. Weren't we all certain that Cody was a shoo-in to beat Roman at Mania? It's like, wait a minute, hold on. Are we sure that someone being a shoo-in is really a shoo-in? Because we all thought Cody was winning.
And I'm sorry, but since you brought it up, I just have to add in, should have been an absolute squash match. They should have sent Joe home and just said, hey, you know what? Rest. We'll pay you.
Everybody can agree that Cody should have won. That was the time for Cody to win. But, I mean, all they're going to do is just tell the story for another year till WrestleMania. He's going to have to go through Barack. He's going to have to go through Gunther, maybe. He's going to have to go through blah, blah, blah. He's going to have to work him. He's going to have to work all the way to Roman again for Philly next year and then beat him. Why they couldn't have just done that, I don't know, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I want AJ on SmackDown, right? Like, I want AJ on SmackDown. Because SmackDown has always been my go-to show. I say it every time. Like, it's my number one show every week. So I'd like to see him on there. I'm also just trying to think of like matchups. You know, like if AJ goes to Raw, who are his matchups going to be opposed to who he has on SmackDown now? Some of the new people coming into SmackDown, I'd like to see. Like, I'd like to see him and Grayson Waller. Like next week, it's going to be the Grayson Waller effect, and the guest is AJ. I think that's going to be sick. I'd like to see those two guys.
Oh, you know what I didn't see tonight? Who did Baron Corbin face tonight?
Oh, yeah, Baron Corbin faced a debuting Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, and Cameron Grimes squashed him, right?
To the moon. Yeah.
Okay.
It was one move. He hit his finish, like his double drop kick to the chest, and that was it. He needs to go back to being the lone wolf now.
I really want to see Montez Ford in a title match.
Oh, yeah.
I think he needs to ditch Angelo Dawkins. Maybe not completely, but they definitely need to separate because there's a Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase dynamic there, where one is very obviously better than the other.
Oh, and they're scamming money, you think, huh?
Oh, okay. Teddy, if you're watching this, I apologize. I still
love you, bro. You're still my best friend. I'm sorry.
But I don't know.
I get what you're saying though.
I mean, if you remember what I like to call the original Street Profits, which is Crime Time.
Yo 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 yo.
Dude, do you remember that segment that HBK and Trips did with Crime Time where they were buying the scalp tickets to get into
Outside.
Raw?
Of course.
Dude, that was fucking hilarious. It was,
Of course.
First of all, it's funny because that whole segment is so tone deaf. Like,
Yes.
and that's just my favorite type of comedy, is just completely tone deaf comedy.
Yeah.
And then fucking Shawn Michaels turns around and he goes, "It's okay. I speak jive."
Yeah. You're like, damn.
But no, I think the
You just at the end too. I remember at the end before I walk away, he's like, "For shizzle," and he just walks away.
Trips is like, "For shizzle," and they're like, "What? Fuck." But no, I so like ideally in my head they'd start pushing Montez Ford, but and this is truly why I hate Roman Reigns so much is the fact, and I promise it all ties back in. I'm not going off script here. It all ties back in. This is truly why I hate Roman Reigns so much, is because right now Montez Ford. Let's look at the roster, okay? People who deserve a push, in my belief, Montez Ford needs a push. Rick Boogs needs a push before he turns into Elias.
Sure.
Solo Sikoa needs a push.
Of course.
Karrion Kross needs to get fired.
No, he needs a push.
Dude, Karrion Kross reminds me of that kid in middle school that you knew was going to grow up to be a Discord moderator and his girlfriend hissed at everybody. That's who Karrion Kross reminds me of.
See, Karrion Kross is kind of the Gunther thing for me. Like, I watched Karrion Kross when he was in Lucha Underground like forever ago.
Yeah, and he was fantastic in Lucha Underground.
Yeah. So I'm always gonna like him and like root for him.
But his current gimmick is so cheesy, dude.
It's better than that helmet he used to wear.
Okay. Yeah.
When Vince gave him that like helmet, that was terrible.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, controversial opinion. Butch needs a push. I love Butch.
as Pete Dunne.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. That's not controversial. Anybody would agree with that. As Pete Dunne, of course.
I feel like a lot of people don't like Butch / Pete Dunne. I feel like he's very underutilized, honestly.
I think people love him.
And fucking, I think this is obvious to absolutely everybody. LA Knight needs a push.
Yeah. Of course.
So, but none of that is going to happen as long as Roman Reigns exists on this show. And I hate it because we're literally sacrificing all of this top tier talent to make fucking... I won't call him what I like to call him because people like to get offended by it. But you know what? I will call him what I like to call him. People, like, we're sacrificing top tier talent so that Captain Carcinoma can have his moment in the spotlight. Like,
I mean, it's still Mania, man. It's still Mania. He ain't losing until it's WrestleMania. That's for damn sure.
But, and that's the thing is, everyone says that, and I'm like, the dude deserved to lose long before Mania. Like,
that's the only time they're gonna do it.
Do you want to know what the factor is there? Is Paul Heyman.
Right.
I mean, if you think about who's the three superstars in the past, let's say 20 years, the three people under Paul Heyman who got an absolutely insane push and never lost. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. That's the three big ones for like this generation. Okay.
Yeah, but you're also Paul had a lot of snooze fests though. Remember when he represented Curtis Axel?
I don't
remember when he represented Cesaro?
Okay, but that's the thing. Is like, why didn't that go anywhere? Cesaro is so good. Curtis Axel,
Mike, which is weird because I always thought Cesaro's biggest weakness in WWE was his mic skills. But then they pass him up with Paul Heyman, who's arguably the best on the mic. But you're right, it didn't work, and I don't know why. Because,
but okay, so my opinion on this is, being bad on the mic is not a good excuse for not being over. Oscar,
sure, right.
Shinsuke Nakamura,
right?
Like, and I hate to target people of like a specific race on that, but genuinely, it's because they came from their home country to be in WWE, and well, it kind of was Shinsuke because, well, also kind of with Asuka because she was a little bit of everywhere. Both of them were. But generally, they came from their home country to be in WWE, right? And they know English, but their accents are so thick that it's, I don't think I'm the only one. It's pretty hard to understand them.
Yeah. No, it can be for sure.
And I'm sorry, but Shinsuke, fucking push him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So Cesaro, I don't know. I can't even tell you what Cesaro's barrier was because I loved him. I think Cesaro's mistake, his like Achilles heel, was the League of Nations.
Oh, that was dog shit for everybody involved, though.
That was fucking horse shit.
Nobody came out of that better than they were.
Yeah.
You went from think about it though. It was a down step for literally everybody. Think about it. You had Bad News Barrett, who just came from like, I've got some bad news, which was like awesome.
Fucking amazing.
Which was awesome. You had Rusev, who literally just came from like the Bulgarian Brute riding out on a tank at WrestleMania. Like, you don't get better, you don't get bigger and better than riding out on a damn tank at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Then you have Sheamus, who didn't he like just win like the world title like a little bit before that, and then kind of fell off after he lost.
Yeah.
And then
Cesaro,
who at that point had won the Andre Battle Royal, U.S. title, Paul Heyman guy. And it's just like, that thing was such a lose-lose for everybody involved. It was such a terrible idea.
It was bad, man. But
it was so bad.
But I honestly don't remember Curtis Axel being paired up with Paul Heyman.
You don't remember that at all?
I don't know if I blocked it out as like this is so terrible.
You probably did.
Fucking remember it.
You probably did.
I don't remember that. But every time you say something, it like brings back something that I'm like, oh, we should talk about this, but we'll get off track. But I'm pretty sure we got way off track. We're at Cesaro and we started at the world title.
What happens?
People watching this podcast are gonna be like, what the fuck kind of ADHD?
We can talk. I mean, we could just talk for hours. That's the problem.
Oh, I remember what I was saying. So I got off on a tangent in the middle of you talking is what happened. My fault. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. Fuck Roman Reigns is
Nah, I mean, I get what you're saying. So here's something that goes back to the draft, right? So Triple H said when he was like promoting the draft, he said
change the game.
Yeah. Do you like to? Do we need to find a clue or something? Because I'm still missing the changing of the game part.
Here's the thing: is that Triple H has had this very, very optimistic outlook on his recent announcements. And
you know what I think it is?
What do you think?
I think him and Tony just love big announcements, whether they're big or not. They love to just make it up to be something, even if it's nothing.
Fucking Tony's like, got a big announcement this Wednesday, and then he comes to the middle of the ring. I got a cat.
Yeah. Well, it's like with Tony Khan, it's like, all right, I'm going to be in the ring this Wednesday. Big announcement. He gets out there. All right, I have a big announcement. To share this big announcement, here's Adam Cole. Half the time, he doesn't even make the announcement himself, and it's like a vignette backstage shot thing. And then, it's so bad because like Triple H will have an announcement, and then literally the next tweet from Tony Khan: "Tune in Wednesday. I got this big announcement coming up." You're like, "Come on, man! We know what you're doing. Stop doing this shit.
They're just fighting with announcements. They're like
It's
going
just-
back and forth. They're trying
Every
to figure
week,
out.
every week, there's some kind of wrestling announcement.
They're trying to figure out who can have the most lackluster announcement in
Ugh,
in the industry.
that's basically what it is now. Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I think people are looking. Personal opinion. People can keep looking for clues for that. I don't think it's unjustified. But I really think that Triple H was just being like a classic 50-year-old man and trying to have some cool wordplay off of his old gimmick.
Yeah.
I really
he was just trying to sell it. I get it.
I really think that's what it was, because people everywhere are still like, well, what's changing the game? And I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. I mean, to me, it was just a standard draft. The mid-card titles swapped shows. That happens pretty much every draft. We got a few call-ups from NXT. That happens every draft. Maybe some tag teams switched, like the Street Profits are on SmackDown now. Just to kind of revitalize those divisions. But yeah, nothing. I mean, there wasn't even anything. I'm shocked Braun Breaker didn't get called up. That kind of surprised me. I thought he was a shoo-in, but I guess they're trying to go with this heel Braun Breaker in NXT before they call him up. I don't really know if you watch a whole lot of NXT, but they turned him heel, so I guess they want to maybe try him as a heel a little bit before they bring him up. But I thought he was a shoo-in to be brought up.
I don't watch a lot of NXT, but unfortunately, I have to hear about a lot of NXT. So
yeah,
it's one of those things that I really hate myself for not getting into, because I know it's good. I don't know why it cannot keep my attention.
And you didn't watch Black and Gold?
I did, relatively, but it really gave me the feel of like people wrestling in a gymnasium.
That's right. I remember us talking about this. That's right. I remember you saying that to me. Yeah.
Like, okay. Do you remember how the shows felt whenever there was no audience during COVID?
Fucking sucked.
Okay, that lackluster, like maintaining a baseline of right here throughout the entire show, is how NXT feels for me. Even the big pops for NXT, I'm like, oh, that was pretty dope. But I really think that's also because you and I lived in a generation. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody that's part of APW, but you and I lived in a generation where we watched Jeff Hardy fucking spear Edge out of midair and do a swanton bomb onto Randy Orton from 50 feet in the air, and we watched Randy Orton take a screwdriver and put it through Jeff Hardy's ear and twist. Like,
yeah,
we've seen and it sucks that all three of those references were Jeff Hardy.
Mankind is also responsible for a lot.
Mankind was responsible. Do you remember when okay, side topic, real quick. Do you remember when Mick Foley was in the Royal Rumble 3 times?
Oh yeah, of course.
That was
Three Faces of Foley.
Yeah, 3 Faces. Like, really? Come on. But anyway, I feel like I've just seen so much crazy shit, and I think that they tried to bring an element of extreme into NXT with War Games. And it does feel extreme to a degree, but like the most extreme thing I've ever seen from NXT was I think we were watching it together, or we were watching it at the same time. It was the NXT thing that happened right before WrestleMania, and you were like, bro, you got to tune into this. And so I turned it on.
Stand and Deliver?
I turned it on just in time to see that blonde bitch get her fucking head clonked off the concrete.
Oh, what match was that? The ladder match, right?
I think so, yeah. And legitimately the only reason I would call that match extreme was because of how many botches there were.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of botches in that.
Like some girl ended up cutting herself on a ladder. Another girl bounced her head off of the floor. Another girl, somebody, she jumped on a group of people and fucking no one caught her.
I remember that. Nobody caught her.
You'd think she had the plague the way everyone
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah, I remember that.
They said, we don't like this bitch. Like,
man, I'm trying to remember what match that was, but I remember now.
Oh, it was Brit something, wasn't it? That nobody caught her.
Hell, I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. I know it was for the title that the girl who just got called up from NXT during the draft. Who was that?
Zoe Starks?
No, the women's champ, the NXT women's champ.
That just got called up?
Yeah. Because the current NXT women's champ, something Hart, is that? Do I have that right? I'm trying to find her. I can't remember where she got called up to.
Was it SmackDown or Raw? Do you remember?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember. I want to say it was Raw, but I can't find her anywhere.
Trying to figure out who.
Indy Hartwell. So it was the match where she won the title.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it really sucked because... Oh, yeah, it ended... How did that end? Dexter Loomis came out and gave her an assist.
Yeah.
Because they be fucking.
They in the way.
Yeah.
Which... this makes no sense. They had her win the title, and then not even a month later, they call her up. Why?
Well, they did that to the tag champs, too. Like,
why?
What are you doing?
Why even do that? You can't build any stories for like that month after, and then you got to vacate it, unless you want your story to be a vacated title that people have to go after. But I mean,
do you want to know? I actually like those like to where it's like there's no contest other than of course you're Teddy Long. You have a
6-way tag team match, player.
So yeah, six-way tag team match for a title on a pole. You know?
And then the winner faces the Undertaker. Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I actually in the past I've very much enjoyed the vacated title thing.
Yeah, I mean
it's speaking of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, way backtracking here. Another reason I think Edge should have won that tournament is to win back the championship he never lost.
Oh yeah. Well, hell. Are we giving people chances of titles they never officially lost? Because we could backtrack a lot for going. Well,
I'm not saying give him a chance based on that. I'm saying if he got that chance and won the title he never lost, it would be really good storytelling.
Right. Sure.
Because if we're doing that, then we might as well give Bray Wyatt a shot too.
Yeah,
which I'm not opposed to.
We gotta give anybody that got fed to Goldberg needs a chance. There were so many people. Kevin Owens, his Universal title. Remember that? Kevin Owens won the Universal title, and it got ended by Goldberg in like 30 seconds.
Dude, do we need to talk about Finn Balor, who got to hold on to that title for less than 24 fucking hours?
Yeah.
But
I kind of thought he was going to go far in the tournament. Like I kind of thought he might go to the finals, but then when he was paired against Seth, I'm like, there's no chance.
Yeah, no, he's got too many stitches in his head.
There's no chance he's taking down Seth. I
swear to God, Finn got brain damage from that match at Mania.
that match was crazy.
Fucking brutal.
That match was so crazy.
Okay, so what else do we have going on in? Oh well, let's backtrack. So you couldn't decide who you thought would win, right?
Yeah.
So who do you want to win? Because who I think is going to win and who I want to win, two completely different things.
Yeah, me too. I want AJ to win, but I think Seth's gonna win.
See, I'm the opposite. I want Seth to win.
Yeah.
Literally for no other reason than I like Seth.
Sure, and I love Seth, and I'm gonna, to me, it's like title, no title. I'm gonna sing his theme song and love him.
Yeah. But I think AJ's gonna. I think AJ's gonna take it. I want Seth to take it, but I think AJ will take it.
Man, AJ would look dope with that belt, though, man.
Dude, let me tell you,
He really would. He really would. That new belt's sweet.
I you want to know what's funny is like my issue with that title is not the same thing as everyone's issue with that title. Like everybody that I've spoken to that has an issue with the title is like, yeah, fucking WWE had to slap their big logo on top of it. You mean like every other wrestling promotion in existence? Yeah. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and that's never gonna change. It's always been a massive billboard for them. It's always gonna be like that.
And my issue isn't the fact that their logo's on it. My issue is the fact that I feel like the whole title design is their logo, other than a small outline of like an eagle and a lion. Mm-hmm. And that was the same issue that I had with the previous titles, the ones that Roman has.
Right.
Was the title is just the WWE logo. Like you put no thought into it, no creativity. And then because of that, and it's overlaying other designs, to me, it looks like 11 people got together and just started slapping stickers on a belt and was like, this is what we want.
Yeah, I mean, it does. So I like it because it's kind of, I like it because it's the closest thing we'll get to probably like Big Goldie 2.0. It's probably the closest thing we'll get to that.
I think the problem is people are in the mindset of getting Goldie 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Goldie 2.0. I want Goldie.
Yeah, me too. I got it upstairs.
I just want, like, if they had just brought back Goldie, I'd have been like, fucking perfection. Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it where it is.
But it's a WCW thing, so they ain't never going to do it.
Well, okay, so at the very least, bring back the title that came after, where they unified that title in the WWF Championship.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Jericho? You're talking about Chris Jericho won it?
Yeah, Chris Jericho won it off, what, The Rock?
I think it's the triple threat with Rock and Triple H, I think, wasn't it? I think that's what it was. I think it was the triple threat with Rock and...
I don't know. Either way. Yeah,
either way.
That unified belt, because that's still... It's like, it's not Big Goldie, but it is a big gold belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that... And it's not just a billboard for WWE. I get putting your logo on it, but let's have some creativity beyond then, now, and forever. You know what I mean?
I mean, let's face it, no belt's better than the APW hardcore title. I mean, let's just say. I mean, you know what I mean? There ain't no title better right now. That's what I'm saying.
I really like what I'd really like to do is we could use this as a platform to announce stuff like that, like our mid-card title.
Yeah.
And be like, bam, here it is.
Sure. We could do that.
But it all depends on how, not you, but you react to it. Wait, did I get that on the wrong? I did. You. Wait, hold on. Where's my...
There you go.
Right in the middle. You react to it.
Is the design final?
Ask Prince, because if someone brought that belt to me and was like, this is your belt, I'd be like, fucking sell it. And I made it very clear. I was like, bro, I do not like that fucking design.
Keep the receipt.
But yeah, did you? This is a big purchase. You might want it. You got the card that you bought it with? Because they're
going to say we could edit it in, but we'll wait.
The what?
I was gonna say we could announce it and edit it in here, but we'll wait.
Yeah, let Prince do his thing, but
we did announce the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, what's it again? Oh yeah, Capital Corporal
Capital Combat.
Capital Corporal.
No. Capital Combat.
Corporal
live from DC.
Corporate
Crispy.
Chris Christie in Texas.
Chris Christie. He's probably hanging out with Ted now, right? They're both into like money shit.
Nugent?
Huh?
Nugent?
Who? What?
You said Ted, and for some reason my brain went to Ted.
No. No.
Oh my god.
Legacy, man. Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Ted DiBiase. Well, possibly.
That's what it is. Sorry, bro.
But yeah, it'll be interesting what we have coming up in Incorporated Capital or whatever it's called.
The dominant champ Xavier.
Xavier is gonna go up against who?
Are we putting that out?
Do we not know yet? I don't think we know yet, do
we? We kind of know.
No, I mean we know, but like we don't know. You know what I mean?
Hasn't played out on Havoc or Mayhem yet, but we know.
Yeah, we know. We're not gonna put that out.
But all the titles are gonna be defended. Bjorn's gonna be holding it down for the Discord division.
Look,
One and done.
Bjorn is
real deal.
I don't know any other way to say this other than good luck to JoJo and Mystic, because other than absolutely sabotaging that character, you're not getting that title off of him anytime soon.
No. I said it from the beginning though, like as soon as someone beats him, it's going to be a moment.
Oh, it's going to be a moment. And it's going to be a moment. It's going to be a moment bigger than Silas losing his title for sure.
Yeah.
Because and I'm not going to lie, I'll say it on the podcast. I took Silas through the ringer. I made him everything from a high flyer to a powerhouse. Changed his move sets, changed his attributes. I simmed, and this was after the pay-per-view, I simmed a good 20 matches. Just me and him. He beat me 19 times. I simmed him once with everyone else on the roster. He won every single match. Now, what pissed me off about the pay-per-view was after I submitted Silas, I put Silas and Bjorn in 10 matches. I said 10 matches should do it. Give me a good average of who's probably going to win. Yeah. I won all 10 matches. And I wanted to absolutely kick JoJo in the dick because in the chat, I literally put, dude, what the fuck? I simmed 10 matches and I won all 10. And JoJo said, should have simmed 11.
I mean,
like, look, dude, you're not wrong, but also shut the fuck up.
that was such an upset at Jackpot, man. That match, everything at Jackpot was crazy. That whole card was nuts,
dude. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what I got to do to get Silas back to where he was, because before no one could beat him, and now he's having trouble doing anything against anybody. I got a question for you. Yeah, what's up?
What's going to be a bigger moment for APW? When someone can beat Bjorn for the Discord title, or if Zach Gardner can successfully cash in on Xavier, who's literally been the most dominant person we've seen so far. So talk about Bjorn all you want, but Xavier is on another level. That dude smokes everybody.
So I think... So, unfortunately, Bjorn hasn't been around long enough to be the force that Xavier is.
Right.
But, and here, let me just pull it up real quick, but I do believe Bjorn is like 5-0 now.
Yeah, he's undefeated.
So, if he keeps going the same way, he's going to be just as dominant as Xavier.
Yeah, I know.
And I think so. Let's say if we're just talking Capital Corporal. So we have Xavier at 9-2. I wish I kept track of who beat who, because I'd love to know who the fuck beat Xavier.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back.
I'll have to go back through the VODs to figure it out. But
did you count the pre-stream tournament?
No.
Okay.
Anything pre the official debut of APW on Twitch was not counted.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think who gave him some losses then, because it would have had to have been like the first show that he lost. He had to have lost like the first show because I can't even remember the last time he lost at all.
You know who I bet it was? Blade.
But Xavier beat Blade for the
title, but
maybe they had like a TV match. Maybe they had a TV match where he lost.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, could be.
So right now, if Xavier loses one more match, and this is the crazy thing to me, right? If Xavier loses one more match, he has the same exact record as Silas right now. Okay. Bjorn is 5-0. Now I hit, what was it, 8-0 before I lost?
I think so.
Or Silas did. Silas hit 8-0 before he lost. So Bjorn, I think if Bjorn can hit like 10-0, that will be Zach Gardner cashing in successfully will be like a what the fuck?
Yeah, because that's how the moment was when he won.
And Bjorn losing his title would be like a like gut wrenching. Like it would be like it would be Edge retiring. It would be you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Bjorn
losing
emotional, especially for Bjorn in the Discord.
Yeah.
Because I mean, speaking from experience, being on a fucking hot streak like that and it coming to an immediate halt and then absolutely getting your title fucking squashed away from you. Dude, it sucks.
You know what's crazy?
Huh?
I haven't even brought this to the Pillars yet, so this is a Behind the Pillars exclusive.
Oh shit, there we go.
But I have enjoyed Bjorn's run and just overall appearance and everything so much that I really, if we can time it out to where, would you say he's at now? 8-0?
No, right now he's 5-0, but I would say
5-0.
He's well on his way to 8-0.
If we can time it out to where he gets a big win, like 10-0 or 15-0,
Yep.
I want to do a pay-per-view that's like Viking centered. I want him to be in the main event, and I want the whole show to be like Valhalla, like Viking shit, with the main event having him defend the title for like, say he's 14-0 going into the pay-per-view. It's his pay-per-view to go 15-0.
Yeah. And that would work out perfectly because of how we drafted and I gotta say, like, so Bjorn in the Discord, he always speaks very highly of us. He always says how like we're great at what we do. We're we're killing it, and that's always appreciated.
Yeah.
But I think the kind of what plays into that is how smart we don't realize we are, right? Because the way we drafted, with Xavier being on Mayhem and Bjorn being the champion on Havoc, we've elevated the Discord title to the APW World title.
That was the goal from the get-go.
Right. And they're like a deadlock. But with them being on the same show, the world title's always going to edge out the Discord title. But the way we drafted, a pay-per-view like that is extremely possible for Havoc, given their roster.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, I mean, so you have Jojo Kai and Azrael Blade, which, again, I don't see them losing the title anytime soon.
To who?
They're dominant as hell. So
you know what I'm thinking? I got this picture in my mind. Right?
Neep's picture.
The pay-per-view, whatever it's called, the pay-per-view, whatever it would be called.
Yeah.
You got the main event, right? Bjorn walking down to the ring to defend it for 15-0, whatever. On his sides, the new APW Tag Team Champions, Sons of Valhalla. You got all of them walking to the ring, 15-0 on the line, and they're all dripped in gold walking to the ring.
Bro, fucking sick.
That's what I see.
It would be sick.
That's what I see. Dominant. dominant. I don't know. I don't know who could beat One and Done right now, man. Every time they're out there, it's just like they run circles around everybody else. Like literally in a match, like you see it all the time. Like everybody else is like missing moves, and One and Done is just like boom, boom, tag, boom. Here, like it's crazy.
I think One and Done. I think they both. It's tricky whenever you're making your guy because it's and I feel like I fell into this groove with Silas as well, and it's a groove that Xavier's in, it's a groove that Bjorn's in, where it's like and even Prince really is in that groove as well, where it's you just find a combination of moves and tempo that works so well that it's hard to fucking come up against. And the reason Bjorn is so hard to beat is, number one, he's a powerhouse, and you can't throw him around.
Right.
You just can't. Like
Yeah.
it won't let you. It won't let you throw him around.
Demon tried, and he couldn't. He couldn't do nothing.
But not only can you not throw him around, so you have to rely on, if you're big, you can lift him, but Bjorn also counters everything for some reason.
His counters are it's insane.
How do I make the counter ratio go up? Because I don't understand how that works. So and that's the thing, is that's a setting that you can't change. You can't change your tendencies to make that happen. It's just something with this character, something with this Ka lined up, and it fucking just works. Everything, he found a combination that everything works together to make him unstoppable. And I think that if I had to pick the top three that's done that very well, it would be Blade, Jojo, Kai, and Bjorn.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy when you look at One and Done, because like kayfabe wise, like in wrestling, you always hear, these guys are brothers. These guys have been tagging forever. Their chemistry is insane. If you look at it kayfabe wise, you kind of get that with One and Done, because JoJo and Mystic have had those characters since like 2K16, and they've always been a tag team, and they've always played 2K together. So like that almost like has kind of come into APW, where like you can kind of see the like story and like the history that these two creator wrestlers have. Like it's weird to think about, but it almost makes sense, because no one's stopping them. Like everybody knew they were going to be the first tag champs. Everybody knew all this. Like I don't know who do we have right now that could even put up a fight? Like Into the Darkness? Like, are they really ready yet? I don't think so.
And speaking from mine and Aaron's point of view, like, would we love to go up against One and Done for the tag team championships? Absolutely. Do I think that we're gonna win? Probably not.
Yeah,
but
who is?
But that's the thing, is that it's just, and I hate saying this because I know it's just gonna boost Mystic and JoJo's ego, but it's like, truly nobody's ready for One and Done. Nobody is, and I don't know how you get over that. I don't know how you remedy that.
Now the exciting thing about APW, right, is all the champions are dominant and seem like they can't lose, but that only is better for the rest of the roster we have. Those are just moments waiting to be made. Like the person that knocks off Bjorn, going to be massive. The people that inevitably beat One and Done for the tag titles, massive. Like Xavier losing to somebody. I mean, I don't even think that's ever even going to happen. Like I think he could literally be the forever champ. Like I don't see Xavier ever losing.
That's honestly how I feel about Bjorn, but again, it's all randomized. It's all computer. Right. So I mean, the first time Xavier loses with his championship could be Monday. Monday.
Yeah, true.
It really could. But the likeliness of it, yeah, it's low. It's not high at all.
No, it's not.
Let's talk about some. What?
What?
Who is this? Okay. Well, I guess I'll figure that out. So let's talk about some people on the roster that new people that we're excited to see in action.
Yeah, we got quite a few. We had a lot of people.
Selfishly, Bearded Breed and AK Magnum. I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah,
I really feel like AK Magnum is going to be a force. I think he's going to be good.
we got a new one since as we're recording this one.
Yeah.
Tommy Danger. He kind of looks like the gangster a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Oof. Change that. Change it. Change it up.
Kind of looks like doesn't he though? Kind of.
Wind it up.
Kind of get some gangster vibes. Bearded, I'm excited for.
Bearded, I'm very excited for. Yeah.
What's the guy's name? The British dude. The British guy that Mystic made. Jack Payne.
Okay.
Because he's like an old school, like British wrestler looking guy. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so done with the name fucking Jack right now.
We have so many Jacks, it's insane.
But
we really do.
Yeah, it's yeah, Jack Payne. And why do all okay? Can look? I'm just gonna give a task to anybody listening that is going to make someone in the future. Do me a favor and make your wrestler name not sound like a porno name, please. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
How about this? No name like that. Also, no one else is allowed to have the cutter on their character. Okay.
Hold on. Wait. We're going too far. We
have like 25 people that have the cutter on their guy.
But dude, it's just so sick.
No, I know it is, but it's like, my God, how many people are gonna whip out a cutter every time?
Okay, how about this? The only person that can have a cutter on the roster is Silas. And I will make
No, technically Prince was the first one that hit a cutter that popped everybody because it was like that top rope cutter and it was like the first time we'd ever seen it.
Yeah. But here's the thing, I don't care.
We're the authority. Okay, we're the authority. The pillars keep the cutter. There you go.
Yeah. The pillars. And you know what? Silas is fucking trash right now anyway. I'll just make his entire moveset nothing but cutters. I don't even care.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick. Just a cutter out of nowhere from everywhere.
Oh, you're going to get up? Cool, cutter. You're on the outside of the ring? Dope, cutter.
Off the top rope cutter.
Your day's behind me? Springboard cutter.
Springboard cutter. Yeah, that would be cool. All cutters.
I toss you in the ring and I'm on the apron. Fucking slingshot cutter.
Slingshot cutter.
I don't even know if they have a slingshot cutter.
A slingshot cutter would be like almost impossible to pull off. Are you kidding? That'd be so hard.
I don't know. I'd find
Silas, like he's a heavyweight, bro. He can't be doing no like flips with a cutter. Like this man.
I don't know, man. I don't know because he's got look at
he's got that Rolling Thunder stunner, which
Rolling
is
Thunder stunner,
sick.
dude, which is just I don't know why. I don't know what it is about that Rolling Thunder stunner, but dude, I get fucking jazzed up for that.
Oh, here's a move that I'm tired of seeing. So if you're creating somebody and you're listening to this, don't make this move. That move where they do like that back roll up and then they put their feet around your neck and then dude, there's like 40 people that have that.
I think it's like called like a schoolboy head scissor or something.
Everybody like does that. Please don't add that to your guy because everybody has that.
If we can also rule out fucking all step up insiguris, please. Like Jesus fucking.
There's a lot of them.
Christ. Just stop doing insiguris altogether. Stop it.
But yeah, I mean,
you thigh slapping mark. Stop it.
Yeah. But I mean, we got some exciting stuff though. I mean, we just had the draft. We just debuted a new belt. We're about to debut another one for our show, Mayhem. Yeah, I said it.
Mayhem.
Yeah, we got the next pay-per-view coming up. Every time I think we're like growing at a crazy rate in the Discord and stuff, like I said earlier, we had like 12 new people join today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's why whenever I advertise out to people, the message I put out to them is, without you, there's no APW, and that's I catch flack whenever, because I do believe that, I really do. Without even people, without Gabriel Gonzalez, without the Gangster, without Jim, literally we couldn't do this. If it was me and Neep and Prince and Mystic and JoJo, we would just be fucking five weirdos who got together and watched animated sweaty people wrestle. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we'd be. And that's why JoJo and I, and even Prince and I have like butted heads every now and then, because they see it differently than I do. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they see it differently than I do, where like someone's like, hey, I want to do this with my character. And I'm like, I don't see why not. If that's the direction you want to go, then, we could probably make it happen. And, Prince and JoJo are more on the side of like, well, why? You're the one booking the show. You make the decisions. Well, yeah. But also at the same time, I want to respect the union of the real life person supporting APW and their created wrestler.
Sure.
Because if we start alienating that and just kind of take over everybody's shit, well, then eventually everybody's going to go, well, I don't want to fucking be here. Right. I don't want to be here when somebody else is going to tell me what to be. I don't want to do that. If you want to change your gimmick, if you want to, whatever. I think the only real restriction I've put on people, without you guys prompting me to, is I'm like, hey, stop fucking uploading a new guy every day. And
stop updating his move set with like one new move. Yeah, it's just, you got look at our roster. We have like we're approaching like 50 people on the roster altogether, and so many people want to update, and it's just for like one or two moves.
So I'll just
that's a lot. It's a lot to go through just to get your guy again for like an extra move.
So I'm gonna go. I'll go off the cuff here for a second, and I'm gonna add a little source. Just to show people, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so we're crazy here, all right? So this right here that I have up is APW stat tracker, okay? Mm-hmm. This is where are we at? So this is APW stat tracker. This is how many people are on the roster, all right? And I don't think people realize that when they go, hey, I updated my guy with one move, can you re-upload it or re-download him? We probably have a good 16 to 20 other people who are saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's we can't there's nothing I can do to help you out whenever this comes up. I just have to go like, hey Neep, can you do this? So it's literally one person trying to get off work, come home, make sure their family's fed, make sure that all the kids are put to bed and showered and bathed, and then you have to fucking sit down and download 20 guys 10 minutes before we start a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And that's the only restriction I put on people, and it's literally for Neep. It's because I'm like, I get it, dude. Do you know how hard it is? How hard it was just to do this podcast? I had to put my son to bed at 7, and hope to God he fell asleep by 9. Motherfucker fell asleep at 8:45. Okay.
Hey, I'm up talking to you till like after 2 a.m. So I was willing to stay up no matter what.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
And it's that's the only restriction I've really put on people with their wrestlers. It's
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
it's
all
not
I'm gonna say is
control-based.
this. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is this: is like when it comes to making your person, be 100% that that's what you want before you submit them. Just make sure this is exactly who you want. And then when it comes to pay-per-views and like the we like to do like the attires for pay-per-views where we only see it once. You wear it for your pay-per-view and then we go back to whatever. When it comes to those, I've been trying to give like a way ahead of time. Like the next pay-per-view is not till the end of the month, and we've already had the section for the pay-per-view gear up for like a week now. Just so you guys can have plenty of time to make your stuff and get it in time. But yeah, that's the only two things. Just when it comes to submitting your guy, just know every now and then we'll do it. Like, if I have free time, I'll go and I'll knock out some people if I can or whatever. But majority wise, be confident in your person. Like, don't fully submit them unless you're 100% happy with who they are.
Right.
And then, like I said, pay-per-view gear, we've been trying to give you guys like 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time. That way you guys have plenty of time to make the pay-per-view gear. But yeah, that's it.
I think that's like, it comes down to just like, hey, okay, so when we first started, like that first week of official APW shows, we were probably so disorganized that like we shouldn't have put on that first show.
Yeah.
But I feel like now we've gotten it down to where we're pretty well organized. But truth be told, because we're relying on other people, we're relying on the roster before pay-per-views, we can really only be as organized as the roster is.
Yeah.
And so it's, when people want to change things, like, I'll mention it here. Bjorn messaged me and he has a faction thing he wants to do, and he sent you all the information for it. And I told him, I was like, hey, look, put it all together, just like we did for the Fallen. Put it all together, send it to Neep. And this was Wednesday, or no, it's Tuesday. And I was like, look, you're on tomorrow, so I can't guarantee he's going to have everything going tomorrow. But if you put it up there, he'll get it in there. He will. But, it at the very least, reaching out like a week or two before whenever you want to change would be as like ample time. That's great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just give it timing. Like, don't expect, if you're on the show in an hour, don't expect to upload your guy and be like, all right, am I going to be good for tonight? No.
Yeah,
you're probably not, because
probably not going to have your new guy, homie.
No, because normally I set up the show, like I set up the matches in the show like hours before the actual, like when I stream. Like I set up the 2K stuff, like I go into 2K and I set up the card hours beforehand. Because I'm trying to get it down to a schedule when it comes to like the booker side of this. I'm trying to get it down, and obviously I have four other people to get all on the same page.
Right.
The pillars that is. I'm trying to get it down to where we have the 2 booking teams. You book the show. I need your card the morning of your show. I'm trying to get that down. Monday, me, you, Prince, we have the card pretty much figured out Monday morning. I'm trying to get the Havoc guys, please send me the card Wednesday morning. That way we have it. It's good to go. We don't have to worry about it at dinner time before the show. And same thing with like any changes. Like if there is going to be any changes or anything crazy, we need, figured out by the morning. That way it gives me all day and into the evening to sort everything out. So I'm trying to get down to like a schedule where the deadlines are like in the morning and then there's like a cutoff, but I know shit happens, but
yeah,
I'm trying to get it to where like a noon cutoff for anything that's happening that day.
We get a little bit more time to get organized, and we get the roster all on the same page. It'll work.
Yeah. Oh, we're already 10 times better than it was like the first few weeks we started.
Hands down, for sure.
Oh, 10 times better. Yeah.
It's learning. Some news in wrestling this week. Just looking over a few things. I'm excited for this. I don't know how you feel about it. A pitch has been made in WWE for Asuka to turn heel in her feud with Bianca Belair.
I thought that was supposed to happen when she came back to the Royal Rumble. Considering that's when she came out with the face paint.
Yeah.
And the shorter hair, which has always been like her thing. Like she cuts her hair really short when she's a heel.
Right.
I thought that was supposed to happen in January with the Royal Rumble. Like, so I've been waiting this whole time. Like, all right, let's go.
I think that's the best thing that could happen for Asuka.
Of course.
Kana.
That's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we need.
And Bianca, just how absolutely boring she is.
I just don't like the title reign right now. I don't understand.
Well, we need somebody with some kind of personality other than Willow Smith. I whip my hair back and forth.
Yeah.
To
I'm on my own.
Yeah. Fucking Jesus.
Against the wall.
Dude, it's just so bad right now.
That'll be cool. I'm excited for that though.
Yeah, dude. I think I was so excited for Kana, and then it like halfway happened, but it also like didn't really happen at all, and I was super let down. So if we actually get that, it's kind of like I compare it to, the Cleaner.
Sure.
It reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah. That's what we need. Heel Asuka is what we need for sure.
So, okay. How do you feel about this? AEW, and it's like not really news, but Jim Ross was on a podcast and he said that he wants fans to start bringing more signs to wrestling shows, and it doesn't seem like anything crazy if you've been watching for the past decade, but if you were watching in the Attitude Era, you couldn't see the crowd. Like,
you couldn't see people.
You could, all you saw was words on poster board. That's the only thing you saw.
Yeah, you didn't see people. All you saw was white, that neon green, or like that neon orange sign. That's all you ever saw.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I agree. I think it has the aesthetic of the Attitude Era, which a lot of us miss. I think it would be a good thing, especially for a promotion like AEW. If they, I think off topic a little bit, kind of on topic. AEW they need to label themselves as the Extreme brand, and go like, I'm maybe not full on New Jack, but I don't know if you remember New Jack.
Oh, come on.
But okay,
come on.
I just had to throw it out there. I don't know. There's a
lot
of people
bumping. What was it? Was it NWA? And you would walk down with a shopping cart full of shit. Well, I think it was NWA was his theme song.
Well, do you remember? Did you ever hear about the news surrounding New Jack?
About the kid?
Like all of it. Like, dude, this guy got let go from so many wrestling promotions because it was.
Well, I mean, he's insane, dude.
He's like clinically, certifiably.
Yeah, he's New Jack.
Not kayfabe, actually real life insane.
Yeah, well, he's dead now, so R.I.P. New Jack.
That was like he used to. When I was explaining to one of my coworkers who does not watch wrestling, who like watched a little bit of the Attitude Era, I was explaining to them who New Jack was. I was like, no. You don't understand. This isn't Jeff Hardy smashing a trash can over somebody's head.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy who's like, you have a match with him and you look at him the wrong way, you're getting stabbed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
have you seen the scaffolding match?
Dude, where he fucking broke that dude's neck?
That match is crazy. That match is crazy.
So anyway, if any of you find some downtime to go look up some New Jack videos, if you've never seen New Jack wrestle,
it's quite the.
If you have a weak stomach, don't do it, because it's like it's brutal. But anyway, I don't think AEW should go full New Jack, but like Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, like that kind of.
I mean, hell, they're already that brand, right? I mean, every time John Moxley gets put in a headlock, he bleeds. I mean, let's be real. Like, literally every time he grapples, it's like, whoa, and it's they're the extreme brand. Whether they want it, I'm assuming they gotta want to be the extreme brand because that's all they do is show that off.
Yeah.
But
And
I mean, you're right. You're not wrong.
I think they need to. I think they're doing it, but they're not like fully embracing it. I think they
Right.
need to fully embrace it, and they're like, "Hey, we're where you go if you want to see someone's insides, and not in a sexual way."
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, and I feel like more signs in the crowd. It kind of just gives off that vibe of like somebody's leaving in a stretcher tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
And it's funny because it's one of those things that, like, to somebody from the outside, and even a lot of people who do watch wrestling, it doesn't seem like it matters much. But if you watched it back when you literally couldn't look at the crowd without seeing a what sign or can you smell sign or you know, Vicky's a whatever sign, whatever, you know, all kinds of signs all over the crowd.
Yeah.
Just that aesthetic gives off barbed wire, and I fucking love it.
It does. Yeah, it does. I agree with Jim. I agree. More signs. I'm down for that.
That is not. No one cares about that. We don't have to talk about it because I don't wanna. But
You don't want. That's fine. We ain't got it.
Young Rock was not listed on NBC's fall schedule, so
Oh, who gives a shit?
that's so sad.
There's so many inaccuracies with that show, anyways. Who cares?
Now, this has been escalating over the past few weeks, and it's still a shocker to me. Over 65,000 tickets have been sold for All In.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? Like 65,000. That's play money to WWE, but for a promotion like AEW, it's like 65,000.
I mean, is it that much of a surprise?
I mean, given their content, because I do very much enjoy their content, it's not a surprise. But I don't think they ever hit those numbers before.
Well, you know who's showing up there, right?
No, who's showing up?
You know who's the draw for that show, right?
I know.
And it's not even official. You know whose contract runs out and can appear on that show, right?
Wait, hold on, let me think.
Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours?
Oh, now is mine.
Now is mine.
Who the fuck is that?
I dream broken dreams. Who is it?
Dude, I can hear the song. Why am I blanking?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
Drew McIntyre, or he used to go as Drew Galloway. His contract's coming up, and apparently, there's no movement on either side to come to a new deal or anything.
Well, let's be honest. Why would there be?
True, but I mean, can you imagine though that show headlined by Drew Galloway in the? Come on.
If I was WWE, I would be crying and begging Drew McIntyre to come back. And if I was Drew McIntyre, I would be telling everyone at WWE to go fuck themselves.
I don't know who else they could get for this show to build it up. I'm trying to think, just like as far as local talent, like who's the biggest talent from that area where the show's gonna be
In London?
in London. Who's the biggest wrestler from like? I don't even know. I don't know who's the biggest from London.
I don't.
Yeah, I got no clue.
I would say Wade Barrett, but I know he's from Wales because he used to say it on every fucking show.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of who else they could, who they could build this show around, unless they're gonna do their fallback, which they easily could do and easily could succeed. Their fallback being the Elite versus FTR and CM Punk, You already have the backstage shit. That's the story. That's the story right there. But is that enough to sell out 90,000? Is like what they're going for? I mean, they got 62 now, but that place holds like 90, doesn't it?
To be fair, I think Drew McIntyre walking down the ramp is enough to sell out 90,000.
You think so?
Yeah. Because
That would be nuts.
dude, I do believe that. He's an unmatched talent for what he's done. I mean, he's
It's the biggest non-WWE show. It hasn't even happened yet.
yeah.
Hasn't even happened yet, and it's the biggest non-WWE show. Crazy.
Hey, so
It's gonna be good.
real quick, I want to recap what happened with the Bloodline tonight.
Oh, they all went out there. Roman said, the Usos were given a job. They didn't do it. And the Usos piped in. They're like, give us one more chance. Give us one more chance. We'll bring the titles back to the Bloodline. So Roman kind of sat there. He goes, okay. He goes, the titles are coming back to the Bloodline. He's like, wise man. He's like, tell him what you got worked out. So Paul goes in there and he's like, oh, at Night of or what is it? Is it Night of Champions? Is that what it is? Night of Champions? That's the next show?
Yeah.
Night of Champions. He goes, the Bloodline will they'll definitely be getting the tag champions back when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn lose, and the Usos kind of like are all standing all proud, like obviously Paul's going to introduce them, and he goes, when they lose to Solo and Roman. So it's going to be Solo and Roman versus KO and Sami at that Saudi show for the tag championships. Now, you want to talk about booking yourself into a corner. Is certainly Roman's not going to hold a tag championship. And certainly he's not going to lose before Cody Rhodes beats him for the titles in like a year.
Do you put it past him? Do you really put it past Roman? Do you put it past Joe to be so egotistical?
Unless,
like, Roman is probably, and like not even like real life, he's got to be one of the. Oh, is the kids up?
No, I just had a crazy thought.
Okay, let me finish trash talking real quick, and then you can say it.
Go ahead.
He's got to be one of the most big-headed, egotistical pieces of shit in the business. Like, if he really thinks that giving the fans a match once every few months and putting his, burying his heel into these titles, holding them hostage and making them completely uninteresting, like that's the type of guy who would go, yeah, I'm going to hold the tag titles too. And you know what? After that, I'm going to go against Theory. We're going to go against Theory at the next pay-per-view. And if the Usos don't bring me back that U.S. title, then they're gone. That's
what clicked is, so every time they've gone back and forth with KO and Sami, it's always been like all the family. So like, remember when it was Drew versus Roman and they banned the family from ringside and they're like, all right, it's just Roman out there. And then boom, Solo debuts and helps him.
Manu.
What if they do the same? What if they do the same thing and they ban everybody so it's just Roman and Solo out there? And they're like, all right, no family, we got this shit. They're about to lock it in. That family's massive, bro.
It never stops.
That family's massive, and there's a guy out there wrestling for the family. His first name is Jacob. That would absolutely. Do you know who Jacob is?
Yeah. It's their.
That would absolutely
another cousin of theirs.
But he is like really good. Like that dude, he's like Umaga size, but he's like going off the top ropes and shit. Like Jacob Fatu is. If you've never seen him, definitely go check him out because that guy. He's built like Umaga, but he flies like an Uso. Like, that guy is crazy. He debuts, helps him win. Family grows. Because why the hell not? We're already at this point. Well, you might as well just keep adding on. Eventually, the Bloodline Families is going to turn into like 2000 NWO. It's just going to be like 40 people in there, and it's going to be so watered down. You looking at Jacob?
Right now we have
One of them's Umaga's son. He just started training. Umaga's son just started training, but I can't remember his name. That Umaga's son would be. He just started training with Booker T, I believe. That family is insane, dude. There's so many freaking people in that family, and it's still going. Like we have people that are just training now. Like Umaga's kid just started, and he's training with Booker T. Booker T's pumped out some good talent from his school.
Oh my God, it's official. They have officially added Naomi into the family tree.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's married in, doesn't count.
No,
She's
I'm
married
stupid.
in, don't count. Isn't it like? Doesn't it break down weird though to like where technically The Rock isn't family?
No, it's The Rock is their cousin, but it's like a weird like long like not a long but like a big age gap. Because you have Rocky Johnson, and his son was Dwayne, right?
Right, that's The Rock.
And he's kind of he's the son or his okay. Rocky Johnson is the son of Peter Maivia, okay?
Right.
But on the other side of their family line, meaning like father and mother, and then father and mother, they're related, right? So The Rock is on this side of the family line. Over on this side of the family line is actually where you have
The Wild Samoans.
everybody else. So looking through, you have, Alpha, you have Sika.
Well, hell, dude, on that side you got the Wild Samoans, you got Yoko, you got Umaga,
Yeah.
you got what's the other guy that was a tag team with Umaga before Umaga became Umaga? When he was like Jamal and shit. What was the other guy's name?
Was that his name?
Yeah, that was his name, Jamal.
I thought that was Rikishi.
No, also Rikishi's in the family. No, it was Umaga and somebody else. They were a tag team and they wore like basketball jerseys and shit. I can't remember their tag name.
Wasn't it like too cool or something like that?
No, Too Cool was Rikishi's group with
That's what I'm thinking of.
The Grandmaster Sexay and
Yeah, so Jacob Fatu is now here's a name that for some reason not a lot of people remember. Tonga Kid,
yeah.
So Jacob Fatu is Tonga Kid's son.
Got it.
And then it's like their whole everything is fucked off. Like it's so hard to read down their family line.
Yeah.
And you have Roman Reigns or Joe, who is the Usos' cousin?
Yeah. Yeah, it's their cousin.
And then it's their cousin, and he's technically in the same generation wise. He's in the same generation as The Rock, who is also their cousin but was born farther before.
Right.
Because The Rock is their dude. I'm not even gonna. My brain fucking hurts right now. I'm looking at this graph and I'm like, what are you? But then you know what? Whatever. Look, they're Samoan and they're here. Okay, they're here.
It's Samoan. It's a small island. There's a lot of them. All right.
Like way too many for such a small island. And I should clarify. I'm not saying there should be less Samoans.
There's just too many people for the lack of space they got.
Yes. I don't see how so many fucking people came from such a small island.
Right.
Like at least China is big.
And they all were wrestling fans, apparently. They all just love wrestling.
Yeah. It's got to be like number one thing over in Samoa.
Well, what do you think, man? Anything else news-wise we got to talk about? Oh, Bo Dallas just did a new interview. And the guy asked him, if he'd ever gotten approached by, for working with Bray. And they said it was pitched to them, but he can't talk about it. But that it's something that they've both wanted to do since like FCW. So
he should have.
He
should have came into that interview, and when the guy was like, "Hey, Bo, how you doing?" He'd be like,
"Howdy,
howdy."
I'd
have been like, "Bitch, I get it. Like,
get it.
I seen
cameras on. Cameras are not on, but I get it."
Yeah, yeah. So what do you? So, dude, what do you? Okay. Bray, we have to bring it up. Okay, we have to. This is APW, Irishneep, fucking Bray fanatic. I love Bray too. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that gets this weird feeling that for some reason they're giving everybody the runaround? Like all of his updates that we've gotten are not only extremely similar, but hold no relevancy to anything. I just saw an update that was like, "Oh, Bray Wyatt commented that his return is dependent on management and his decision." Well, no fucking shit.
No, I think they're
everybody.
I don't think anybody knows, and that's why I haven't made a video about it in a while. Like I haven't made a Bray Wyatt video in a while. Just because, like, I don't. That's just like writing shit out to like see your writing on paper. Like, there's no thought, but like behind that, like, clearly, his comeback is upon management and himself. No shit. That it's literally the same thing with everybody.
Yeah.
Like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's return is up. It's between him when he's healthy and management when they have a spot for him. It's the same thing with everybody.
I was talking about this earlier with one of my buddies at work. It's like that statement alone is so stupid because I'm like, dude, fucking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat could come back and wrestle today, okay? And all that would have to happen is management go, "You're clear, buddy," and Ricky go, "Okay, I want to go back." Literally, I don't care if you're 9,000 years old. You coming back is dependent on you and management. That goes for everyone.
If that was by Ringside News, those guys don't know anything.
No, it was like one of those headlines that kind of pop up a little bit here and there, that you'll see 2 or 3 times.
I think after Champions is a good reset point for him to come back because it's going to be a new champion on that show. The 2 new rosters can kind of, it's kind of like a good reset. Like there's the new champion on Raw. Like we can start building up stuff towards that. It's a good, but they need to bring them back. And I think I speak for other people. I'm not speaking for myself because this isn't necessarily how I think, but I think if you're going to bring them back and you're going to do the Alexa Bliss in the Howdy route, this is just other people. I know what other people are going to go with this, so I'm just going to say it for them. I feel like you got to reveal Uncle Howdy for people. Like, they took so long not doing it, and everybody was so curious about who it was. And, like, I've seen it online, too, where it's like, if you bring them back, you got to reveal Howdy. Like, you got to advance this somehow. Like, don't bring them back and then just continuously kind of tease, like, who he is, but kind of not. See, that's just other people. I don't care if they unbox him or not. I said a long time ago that we might not ever see it, that it's actually Bo Dallas. The only reason it's Bo Dallas is because he's a reliable worker and they know they can trust him in the ring.
Well, I have the opposite opinion to where I don't think you need to reveal Howdy because I
don't think so.
Because I like that ominous shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No one knows who it is. That's amazing. Keep that fucking running. That is going to keep people Dallas, coming back. Yeah, we know it's Bo Dallas. But at this point, I don't even know if Bo Dallas knows it's Bo Dallas.
I like that it's Bo Dallas, though, because like he's finally getting something that's not fucking believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was, holy shit, what the
And
fuck.
dude, Uncle Howdy, like, come on now, like, if you're even somewhat a fan of like horror movies or something, like, Uncle Howdy is such a cool character. Like he's like the ringmaster from the circus. Like, I kind of made that comparison months and months ago. He's like the circus master. Like, he's got his top hat. He's all eerie. Comes out when he walks. He's got like that thing. Dope. It's dope.
It's dope.
Stop hating on him. Stop hating on them.
No. I was saying, because you said the ringmaster. I was like, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stunning Steve.
Stunning Steve, dude. Nobody believes me that he was in the Hollywood Blondes.
Oh yeah,
the tag team. Everybody's like,
him
no, that's not him, and I'm like, no, it's not.
It was who was in the Hollywood Blondes? It was what's his name? He has a kid now that wrestles.
Damn it! I knew this name was gonna come up. I knew it.
He has a kid now that wrestles.
Brian Pillman. Jesus
Brian
Christ.
Pillman.
Why could I not rattle that off?
Yeah, Brian Pillman.
Yeah,
Brian Pillman and Steve.
Yeah. But no, I disagree with the people saying you need to unmask him. I think keep Howdy masked, keep him in a manager role, maybe busting out and doing something wild every now and then, like at that Pitch Black match. But maybe do it a little bit better because that was kind of dumb. But
They had to get their check.
So here's my thing with. I think I got a ghost on me. So here's my issue. Here's why I think that one, either Bray's not coming back, or they're scrapping everything that they've done since, what was it, Survivor Series last year?
Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules. Either he's not coming back or they're scrapping everything they've done since Extreme Rules. Because whatever Bray's got, whether it's a knee or fucking scoliosis, leprosy, whatever the fuck it is, he wrestled one match in 6 months.
Well, one televised match.
Well, yeah, but one match. Like,
yeah,
you could have very easily drug it out and kept the storyline go. Fine, don't have Bray there. But what about a storyline with Howdy? What about updates? What about ominous little messages here and there that they could have been doing this entire time, and they've given us none of it?
I know, it's kind of.
And it wasn't even like, oh, well, we're gonna do it these next few. We're gonna give ominous messages these next few weeks, or we're just gonna have Bray do the Firefly Funhouse these next few weeks, and then after that it tapers off because he's actually injured and going to be out for a while. It was literally he's there, he's not.
Yeah.
Like, and I gotta believe that if they were going to continue the same storyline that they were with Bray with these ominous messages, they would have kept the ominous messages going even if he couldn't wrestle.
And yeah, and you do have a little evidence backing your claim. Like I said, I haven't made a wide video in a while, but the last one I did make was it was the update that like kind of mattered. All the other ones have been kind of bullshit so far, but this one came straightly from Road Dogg, and he said that they have hired a new writer for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So if they hired a new writer, is that writer going to continue on what they're doing, or is that writer going to say, screw it, let's scratch this? You've already been gone long enough. Let's just scratch this and let's build something else.
In the past, historically, people don't like to look at this because they want this storyline with Brady to keep going. Historically, in the past, when people have gotten new writers for storylines, their storyline is completely changed. 100%.
Yeah, sure. I just hope, as long as this person knows what they have with Bray Wyatt, and they don't try to like do it all, you gotta give Bray the reins. Like, just look at what people like say is arguably his best character, right? Eater Worlds, Rocking Chair, Wyatt Family. that was all him. Like,
Yeah.
if you watch old interviews, he said when he was in like early NXT, they would just take a camera out to the woods and then just start filming shit. Like, and that's what the Wyatt family was at the beginning. It was like just this backwoods promos, and that's what you need. Like, you need. And the last time they gave him freedom, he came up with the Fiend, who everybody loves the Fiend. I mean, who doesn't like the Fiend? Like, you got to give him. I just hope whoever it is gives him space to do what he needs to.
Well, and it sucks because the last thing we really got from him was, teasing Bobby Lashley, the match with him and Bobby Lashley, and I'm not gonna lie, like I could have put an Irishneep sticker on my fucking forehead because I was like, oh, I feel like I'm him right now because I was watching that episode of I watched the episode of SmackDown, and he's, it's him, and of course, like, I don't keep up with it to the extent that you do, probably.
But nobody does probably.
I search for Bray Wyatt news like daily, and so he did the interview where he was like, oh yeah, no, the Fiend's dead, Fiend's not coming back. Blah blah blah. Later mentions, oh well, I never watch my old matches or my old promos.
Yeah, I shot those down like immediately.
And then the literally the following week on SmackDown, you catch him
watching his stuff.
You catch him watching his old promos and his old matches, and then he says, can you keep a secret? And I'm like, oh shit. So that's him lying about not watching his old matches and his old promos, which means he's probably also lying about the fact that the Fiend is dead and never coming back. And dude, it was such a revelation moment for me. I was like, oh my God, I am a true detective. I've cracked the code, and then he just disappears.
If you look back to like one of the last things we saw, which is we were just at, I think, like where this thing was going to really ramp up, because one of the last times we saw him saw anything with them in general was that crazy backstage thing where it was the Firefly Funhouse. The door whips open. The door either gets stopped or opened by the box that used to get handled by Alexa Bliss. Like black box she used to hold. The door either got opened by that box or stopped from opening all the way from that box. And then some crazy, like we heard like people screaming, like the door opened, people were screaming in the doorway. All these creepy like videos were in the doorway. Like I thought, oh shit, the Fiend's about to step out of this doorway like any second now. Like he's about to walk out of this doorway. Because we know that's who's in there. That the Fiend's in there. The Firefly Funhouse, like that was locked behind the door. Like there's something in there. There's a beast in there. I feel like it was just about to like really, really ramp up and then quiet, which sucks.
And sucks. Do you want to know what's really, and I might catch some shit for this. What really sucks about if he was telling the truth and the Fiend being gone forever, what really, really sucks is the fact that in like his mask, the Fiend mask, I'm sorry, but to me, aside from Rey Mysterio's mask, his design is probably the most iconic mask in WWE history. Like even more so than Kane's mask
or Mankind.
Like, dude, when I think of, like, when you're like, hey man, what's the fucking most badass mask you've ever seen in WWE?
Is dope.
It's the Fiend. It's the Fiend.
He's coming back. He's lying. Like, the more to that video, you said you caught the it is dope. It is dope.
Dude.
You said you caught the I don't watch my old shit, or I don't watch my shit back, and the Fiend stuff. But did you catch the other one when he asked, because he asked him about the Fiend and he brought up that he would never do the Eater of Worlds again without Brody Lee because it just wouldn't be the same, right?
Right.
That next week, Do you remember what happened that next week on SmackDown?
Was it the Brody Lee tribute thing?
No, it was the promo, which starts with a single spotlight in the ring of a rocking chair, and Bray Wyatt walks into frame, sits in the rocking chair, says, "We're here," and then starts his promo. That's literally Eater World's Bray Wyatt.
That is
the
Eater
rocking
World's Bray
chair.
Wyatt.
The rocking chair saying, "We're here." So he lied about that. So the Fiend was definitely supposed to come back, but who even knows now?
Dude, it's little shit like that. Man, it so on Brody Lee. I'm gonna come back to the Fiend, but real quick on Brody Lee. Whenever they showed him at Mania, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I almost cried a little. That's emotional, man. It's whenever and I'm not gonna pretend like whenever he got presented with that championship, when Brody Lee's son, dude, that like -1 having the championship, -1 being at WrestleMania, and them like showing it, dude, it was just so fucking sad, man.
Brody Lee was the last person. Well, I mean, I say last as in it's only been a few years, but he was the last person that I cried watching the tribute show.
Yeah.
And it was a single thing too. Like the show was emotional as hell, but when they started doing those like backstage things where they had people talk, like WWE does them too, like where it'll have like say somebody passes away and they'll have like John Cena talking backstage about him.
Yeah.
It'd be like, this guy was a great guy, blah blah blah. They did that. And when John Moxley got up there, I knew it was going to be so emotional. But after John Moxley's, I was just like a puddle of myself. Like I was so like broken up after, because I knew the Moxley thing would hit because of like how long they'd been friends and stuff like that. I knew his would hit, and it did.
So the last thing in the wrestling world that made me legitimately cry, right? And I'm not talking about like a full out sob, but like it was I shed a few tears.
Yeah.
Was HBK's retirement.
Oh sure,
dude. I
sure.
He was always my favorite in DX. He was always like easily top 3 for me of all time. And just seeing him come out and fucking that motherfucker, I don't know if you remember, but he was basically blubbering in the ring.
Yeah, of course I remember.
And like you're just there and you're watching one of like your childhood heroes call it a day, and metaphorically leave his boots in the ring
until he came back and did an absolute shit show match later. But
well, yeah, but I don't count that because it was such
neither
a
do
show.
I don't either.
Like,
that was no.
That
you know what I
wasn't my
say?
HBK.
You know what I say about that? I say, look, I'm all for people getting their bag, and that was getting his bag. He got paid a shit ton of money for that. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
You get your money, HBK. Get your money.
But it's with Bray Wyatt and Brody Lee, I don't think anybody can deny that connection they had to make killer content. And it's like,
well, no,
it's people like you and I probably caught it. I know for a fact you caught it. I caught it. I knew a lot of people who didn't catch it, but in one of Bray's first promos back, when he like actually fucking showed up after all the White Rabbit shit, right? It was like, I want to say it was his very first promo back, and he gets in the ring and he pulls the mic up, and the first thing he says is, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, damn it. You're going to make me cry, man. Really?
Well, what's cool about that is it was when LA Knight was talking. Are you talking about the first time or when he did it in front of LA Knight?
It was like it was his first time. He was alone in the ring when he did it. I know that much.
Did you see the LA Knight one?
I probably, yeah.
LA Knight was cutting a promo, and Bray Wyatt interrupts him, and he's walking to the ring, and he does the same thing. He does the 3 yeahs.
Yeah. And
which was kind of cool because it was kind of a double, like making fun of LA Knight's yeah, but then also a Brody Lee yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've always loved because he did that that was one of like his catchphrases as the Fiend. And I don't even know if a lot of people like ever caught on to that, but like if you know how like sometimes if you're watching a live feed of wrestling or whatever, like you'll hear him call out moves or you'll hear him say something like very vividly. The Fiend used to do that all the time, like that signature pose where he would do the Brody Lee like kiss thing, and when he would stand there, every time he would do yeah, but you'd barely catch it sometimes.
Yeah.
But he would always do it. He would always do it, which I thought was awesome.
Dude, and it's again, it goes back to it's those little things like that they don't really intentionally do that we catch on and we just fucking hold on tight to it and it ends up blowing up, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's tough. I don't get sad, like, you know, when Macho Man died, that was sad. 'Cause he was one of my favorites.
Sure.
But it wasn't, I gotta be honest, it was nothing like the absolute grown man heartbreak I experienced when I found out Brody Lee died.
Yeah, that was rough because it was so sudden.
It was gut wrenching, dude. And God, man, I hate thinking about like, and this.
Hey, I'll tell you this, so you don't have to explain it. I'll be able to explain it maybe a little better. How shocking it was because nobody knew, right? Like nobody had any idea,
right?
How shocking it was. Now, this might be a bad comparison for some people, but some people will understand it in a little bit. The complete shock of how it was. He was not on the same level as far as like it was like Kobe for basketball fans. It was like Kobe because it was completely out of like left field. No one knew he had some kind of like it was like a lung issue or something, right?
Yeah.
Like no one had any idea he was sick. He had still been wrestling. It was completely out of left field. No one even knew he was going like downhill. It like literally just happened. And then you know, you kind of had the you know, with Kobe, his daughter passed alongside with him. But with Brody, it's like the tribute show. It's just the kid out there alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like both of them, it kind of like plays into that child and the parent. It's really weird. It was a really weird time.
There's that dynamic of it, and then the dynamic of the fact that like it would like I don't imagine if you got a headline tomorrow that was like Randy Orton dead. It's like part of the show dies with them, and that was especially going into AEW. Part of the show truly died with Brody Lee. And
him as the Dark or like in the dark, dude, that was such good stuff.
It was amazing.
It was so cool. It was such cool stuff, man.
So officially,
and him like showing off his mic work, that was the coolest thing for me. Well, because in the WWE is the Wyatt family, he couldn't talk.
Yeah,
that much.
You didn't see it. Like the most you got was the 3 yeahs and maybe.
But like in AEW, when he would cut a promo, like he was damn good.
Yeah. So Brody Lee's official cause of death was idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It's a rare progressive illness of the respiratory system, characterized by thickening and stiffening of the lung tissue, associated with the formation of scar tissue. So, like, think about that for a second. The fact that this dude was out there every week fucking putting in work. He was out there every week sweating his ass off, and his lungs were turning to stone, basically.
Yeah, and he was putting on when he was the TNT champ. Like he was putting on bangers. Like, dude. Like it wasn't no squash matches all the time. Like he was out there like putting in reps with a lung issue. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, you hear about these guys.
Like I got asthma. Like, if I tried to step into a wrestling ring, it would be terrible. But this guy's lungs were literally, like, decaying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so basically scar tissue forms on the lungs, and it hardens the lungs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's different. You hear about these guys, you know, Cody wrestling with a torn pec.
That was nuts.
You know, you hear about you know, that big match that The Rock and John Cena had where The Rock like tore his quad, tore his pec, pulled his fucking abs off the bone, whatever. all this shit, and you're like, God damn, that's crazy, man. And then you have things, and I don't really think I've heard of anything as severe as this, where this guy wasn't wrestling with a torn pec. This dude was wrestling with 25% lung capacity every week.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that I can think that's even kind of close, just because it wasn't all physical, would be like Kenny Omega, who just got done. Didn't he had like all kinds of shit. Like he had like vertigo and like all this other like shoulder shit and all this other stuff. But that was more because it was just like one thing after the other piling up.
I know that he had so he had the thing with his shoulder, he had a thing with his knee, he's had a thing with basically every fucking joint that this man owns.
Yeah.
But again, given Kenny Omega's I'll say level of activity,
It makes sense.
Dude's a fucking shotgun waiting to be fired.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But he had it was a stomach infection.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing here. And then shortly after his stomach infection, or at the same time as his stomach infection, he was recovering from knee surgery.
Damn.
So it's like it's just like a
yeah, shitstorm.
Double threat there. But yeah, it's just unheard of, dude. And I the bad thing is, in my head, and I'm not saying that AEW did a bad job. I'm saying, like, there's nothing anyone could ever do to pay proper tribute to fucking to Brody Lee. It just can't happen.
Right.
It's like when. I mean, Ric Flair is probably gonna outlive both of us, but
yeah.
But whenever he dies, that's gonna be another one where it's like nothing you do is gonna pay proper tribute to this guy.
Nah,
it's not happening.
Nah, there's not a video montage or anything you can say, or I don't know.
Yeah,
one of those things, man.
Yeah, he was huge. It's I mean, metaphorically and literally. Fucking huge.
Yeah.
But what is God, I don't even know what he's going by now. Luke Harper.
Who?
Or yeah, right? Eric Rowan?
No, Luke Harper's Brody.
Yeah. Eric Rowan. What's he doing now?
Oh, he goes by Eric Redbeard.
That's right.
Yeah, he does indie stuff. I still keep up with like his social media just to see what he's doing. He does like little indie shows and shit.
Huh. I really thought that he was gonna go somewhere.
Well, he went to. Remember, he showed up in AEW for like the Brody show, and he came out in the ring and had a sign that said like "Love your brother" or something like that, but then he never showed up again. So I don't know.
He was
I don't know.
Probably a Forbidden Door thing, just to pay tribute, you know.
That would be kind of cool.
But
if they had some kind of like battle royale or something, he kind of entered in, had like a Brody shirt on or something, or
yeah,
he did his discus clothesline because that was kind of like his signature move.
Dude, I was watching, like, I don't know how I got on this. I kind of just doom scroll and find these videos. But I was watching this video montage of like the most destructive shit that Brody Lee's ever done. And there was one I was watching where, God, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was I want to say it was against one of the Usos. And he ran from the corner and caught a super kick and stumbles back and uses that stumble as momentum to give that fucking discus clothesline.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, dude, it's shit like that he just pulls off so flawlessly.
Dude, his clothesline was sick, dude.
Yeah.
I would put like, honestly, I'd put like Clothesline from Hell, JBL, and then like Brody's clothesline. Like, it's good.
You thought the
dude.
clothesline from Hell was that good?
Dude, rewatch Clotheslines from Hell. Are you kidding me?
I'm about to watch it right now.
Oh my god, rewatch Clotheslines from Hell. You don't even know.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on the.
You're about to see some people get decapitated.
Let's see.
Not a chance you don't remember that.
Okay, so real quick, we'll hop off after this, but because it's my wife gets off in 30 minutes, and then so do I.
It's 3 a.m. for me. We're almost in Mr. Anderson, Mr. Kennedy territory.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, when I interviewed Mr. Kennedy, it was at like 4 a.m.
Oh, I was about to say, you gonna give him a ring? I can stay on. It's okay.
I could. It's 3 a.m. I don't know what time it is where he's at.
Okay, so
Get Mr. Kennedy in on here.
dude, I'll shit myself and have a heart attack at the same time.
Oh, I did. You should see my reaction the first time we interviewed. I'm like this the whole time. I'm like,
if we can get him in here, the whole podcast layout's going full Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy.
Like, dude, APW what? Like, I don't even know what APW is. Everything is Mr. Kennedy.
I'm sure he would do it. Like, we've talked countless times. I'm sure he would do it.
Dude, I would. I don't even know. I might just have to mute my mic because I'll just be making like gurgling noises and fucking having.
There's a few people that I've gotten. There's a few people I know I could get for here. There's a few people I know.
Well, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Okay, so real quick,
what are you about to show me?
No, I want to ask you if you had to pick like top 3 like what the fuck moments, holy shit moments in wrestling history, what would they be?
Like moves or moments?
Either or. You
want to know what could have been the craziest moment that got ruined by commentary?
Oh, many.
Hulk Hogan turning heel. Watch that back.
Oh, yeah.
Watch that back. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Because they gave it away.
They gave it away.
Yeah.
Like, they literally give it away as soon as they see him. They're like, oh, here comes Hogan down to the ring. Is he the third man? You're like, what? That didn't even pop into my head. Why'd you even say that? Why'd you even say that? Like, that didn't even pop into my head until you said that shit. Can you imagine? It was already a shock, but if they had not have said that, you would have been like, what the what? Yeah, but they had to go and say it. But shocking, like, holy shit. Probably Brock Lesnar taking those back-to-back chair shots from the Hardys. Have you seen that shit?
Let's look it up.
Unprotected to the head. Just do Hardys hit Brock with the chair. It's the sound. If you can, you don't have to play for it, but if you can get sound, you got to hear it. The sound is insane. You know what's an underrated, like, OMG moment? When Kalisto hit the Salida del Sol on one of the Usos off the ladder through another ladder. Have you seen that?
No.
Dude, look up that shit. Kalisto, just type in Kalisto off the top of a ladder, I guess. I don't know. That's nuts. He does a backflip with him off the top of a ladder through another ladder, that first one.
One more. What's yours?
Why don't you give me one?
Because mine are very, very cliche.
Mankind going off the top?
I mean, Mankind going off the top. Randy Orton catching Evan Bourne in that RKO.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Again, Jeff Hardy doing that crazy swanton bomb onto Randy Orton.
What about
or how about this? I'm going to block this out so you can't see it, and then I'm going to pull something up. And this is my number 1 all-time what the actual fuck moment, okay?
Okay. Let's see if I can try to think. Is it a move or a moment?
It's actually a series of moments.
Oh, the Shockmaster. Gotta be the Shockmaster. How could it not? The Shockmaster. Oh.
Honestly.
No, it's Psycho Sid breaking his leg.
Oh my god.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I think everybody.
As soon as it snaps commentary, they don't even say anything. They just go, "Oh."
And gentlemen,
they make a sound. They don't even say anything.
We have the same. Are we twinsies?
Is that the Vapresso?
Yeah. Yeah,
Which one is it?
Hey.
I just bought it like 2 days ago.
Dude, I love this thing.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. I got it. Oh, I got it. Yeah, it's cool. I got the Mini 3. I think it's the Mini 3.
Yeah, I think that's what this is.
Thank you guys so much for watching Behind the Pillars podcast. Make sure you watch our Twitch Monday and Wednesdays for APW, and you like and subscribe here on the YouTube. We're trying to grow this as well. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. We got many more episodes coming in the future. Make sure you guys stay tuned into the Twitch and the YouTube for the future episodes. We're going to be breaking down APW and everything going on in the world of wrestling. Thank you so much. I'm Irishneep. That is Super, a.k.a. Silas. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah! Yeah!